All right. Our last item on the agenda for this week's episode is a boss script. From time to time, we are going to bring to the show a boss script. These are questions or turns of phrase you can use in your work as a boss to be more successful. And Alyssa, our boss script for today is as follows. It's a question. Can you disagree and commit anyway? And this to me is a really powerful question. Can you disagree and commit anyway? It's a powerful question when you as a leader are interacting with someone who maybe is unable to let something go or accept your answer. Have you used anything like this? Do you find value in this? Why is this a useful boss script?
I think the last part of what you just said is this asks the why, okay? Which we coaches never ask because the why isn't important. But in this particular case, you're saying, I've given you all the whys.
Yes.
And we've already passed that point. So now how are we going to move past the whys? Are we going to be able to commit to move forward? Mm-hmm. You're asking for agreement. You're asking for their partnership. That's powerful stuff. Can you disagree and commit anyway? That's amazing stuff.
And I love it because it moves the choice of what happens next from the leader to the person sitting across from them, whether that's a colleague or a business partner or another boss or a direct report, right? Yeah. And it reminds them that they may have to make a choice that doesn't align with what they wanted. So I think about committee work and project work, right? Committees and project groups have to come together and figure out how to do the thing or fix the problem. And there are going to be competing ideas and different thoughts about how to do it. Usually, the work done by that group together results in a consensus. Consensus isn't everybody agreeing. Consensus is we are all supportive of the path forward, right? That doesn't mean that everybody on the project group agreed that it was the right way to do it, but we understand why we're going in that direction.
Yep.
Right? So they can disagree but commit anyway. When we have employees who come to us and say, XYZ isn't working for me, it has to change, and maybe they're asking for something that is not going to change anytime soon. This is a powerful question we can say back to that person when, hey, listen, you've come to me, you've said you need your schedule to change, you need your compensation to change, and you want your title to change. And I need you to understand that none of that is going to be possible in the foreseeable future. Mm-hmm. And as you move through this conversation with that person, if there's resistance, if there's difficulty, if there's defensiveness, you may have to say, let's take a time out here for a second because I want you to know that I hear you. I understand that this is important to you, but I want to be clear about what is possible and what is not possible. And what you're asking is not possible. And so now you have a choice to make. Can you disagree but commit anyway? And if the answer is yes, great. Let's come up with a time when you and I can revisit this, and let's figure out how we're going to make sure that your disagreement or your unhappiness isn't going to negatively affect how you show up. Mm-hmm. But if the answer is no, if the answer is that you can't disagree and commit anyway, great. The answer is still great because at least now we know, and let's figure out our path, our exit strategy for you, right? Because if you can't disagree and commit anyway, you probably shouldn't stay.
That's right. Now you've got clarity for both parties.
And I'm going to be an advocate for you either way. With whichever decision you make, I'm going to be supportive and helpful to you and for you. If you say, I cannot commit, I disagree, but I cannot commit, okay, then I'm going to be an advocate in helping get you out the door as fast as possible. And it's not a you thing and a me thing, it's a we thing. We'll do it together. But if we have that clarity, at least now we're all operating off the same game plan.
That is something that folks need to stop. Get off the treadmill real quick. Write it down. Write that question down. Can you disagree and commit anyway?